So, good faith. This is not monetized. This is just to try to show that we need to be a little more serious about what exactly is anti Scientology. Well, I have been, to put it mildly, disillusioned watching the, better word, the big ones, whether Streets LA or Aaron Smith-Levin or whoever is your favorite, Jessica Palmadessa, and their idea of what anti Scientology is seems to curiously involve not getting people in jail, especially the upper leadership, which is kind of curious. So Jerry essentially did an interview with Alonzo, and a lot of it was going through his biography, his life story, which is incredible. I just want to focus on key parts. If you have seen the interview, I just want to provide further insight. If you have not, I will do a series of videos going through little moments and really expanding upon this very incredible journey. So the short story with his time in Scientology is he rose through the ranks and was directly working under Hubbard. And essentially what happened is Hubbard wanted a biography, so they wanted a professional biography, and they even signed contracts to do that. And Jerry, after a certain amount of time doing research and trying very sincerely and with a lot of effort to figure out what exactly is his life story, was stunned to find almost every single thing, every single claim. And believe me, Hubbard makes some pretty incredible claims, like he was fighting bears. Not joking with you, he actually said, as a fact, he fought bears and survived. Okay, fine. No scratch on the man, as far as we know from the bear attack. And just these very wild tales. Jerry said, I cannot in good faith help anymore because these are just lies. We need to have an actual real biography. And this is important that he did leave under duress. However, he left with documents that he legitimately obtained through their own contracts. But Scientology still harassed him, sued him. They lost, and throughout the years have been fair gaming him. And I think some people don't know what fair gaming is. Like, fair gaming is not them sending a couple of detectives to look at your garbage. That is fair gaming, but it is the very, very minimal fair gaming. We're talking maximal fair gaming. And Jerry is saying 6 times they physically tried to harm him, at least. And several times, again, this is YouTube, I have to say alleged, because it's what it is legally, they allegedly tried to kill him several times. That's fair gaming, and they've done it decade after decade after decade. So let me skip right ahead to the heart of the controversy, which for him is that the reason, which has not been told correctly, that the Church of Scientology has tax exemption status is because of his legal victory. They were getting blocked because the IRS could just not get around that because they knew this is a criminal enterprise. Jerry's court case verified that. So by winning, they were stuck. So they tried to find a loophole by essentially declaring Jerry insane, saying, well, the case really hinges upon his validity, right, of his cognitions or whatever we're going to go into. And they're going to say, well, he's a raving madman. And the IRS certified that, saying, oh, yeah, okay, there you go. And they were able to get around the court ruling. But the problem is Jerry is of sound mind and body. He is not crazy. So they are breaking the law. And that's, I think, where things are going to get tricky. Because if you listen to Jerry carefully, he's not saying that the church is breaking the law. It's the church and the IRS together willingly breaking the law. So the Church of Scientology is one thing. That's a $4 billion cult. We're talking the IRS. Do you think the IRS would willingly admit for decades it's been lying and breaking the law? Probably not. So that's going to be pretty tough to show that because they don't ever want to admit to their own corruption. It is what it is. So it's not as simple as just helping Jerry. I mean, I just don't see how the IRS is going to be pressured, but you can pressure it. It's not a god. So there's that end of it. Now let's just deal with the blunt reality with Mike Rinder, who died recently, and Aaron Smith-Levin. And I'll try to be as neutral as possible. So Jerry is providing massive documentation on his website and YouTube channel that Rinder was destroying his reputation and Aaron was helping. That a large number of the ex-Scientology community keeps attacking and branding him as crazy and in their way helping the Church of Scientology. So either Rinder and or Aaron are incompetent, they don't know what they're doing, they're just stupid, they have no real knowledge of the IRS, tax laws, and so on and so forth, which is possible, or something more sinister is at work. Because Aaron, when there was a massive breakup between him and Rinder a few years ago, has made these really alarming accusations that Rinder possibly is himself a PDF or helping child predators. I think those are pretty alarming accusations. And he was willing to broadcast any crazy thing said against Rinder. But mysteriously, with Gerry Armstrong, he's like, yeah, I'm not interested in talking. He said he would talk to Gerry, and nothing has happened. And Gerry is saying, yes, Rinder was part of a criminal conspiracy against him. But that part, Aaron doesn't talk about. But this part of it, that Rinder was helping an IRS conspiracy, a criminal conspiracy, to hurt Gerry, he doesn't want to talk about that. He's willing to allow people and guests to slander Rinder on almost everything, but not this. So you can call Rinder many things: a liar, a criminal, and possibly a child predator. But let's not talk about the IRS, which is weird because Aaron does cover the topic. He covers it a lot. But this particular angle, this particular interpretation, he has no interest in broadcasting that. Many other topics, yes. The most crazy accusation, sure, that's fine. But Gerry documenting these accusations with a lot of paperwork about Rinder and this criminal conspiracy of the IRS to destroy him with the Church of Scientology, no interest. No interest at all. That's mighty curious, don't you think?